We hope you enjoyed our first captivating video exploring the diverse feeding mechanisms in the animal kingdom. If you haven't watched it yet, be sure to check the link to the video in the description for an extraordinary journey into the incredible adaptations that creatures have developed to obtain their food. Now, get ready for another riveting chapter as we delve deeper into mechanisms of feeding in some animals. In this edition, we'll be uncovering even more remarkable strategies employed by various species to satisfy their dietary needs and thrive in their natural habitats. If you find our videos fascinating and educational, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share the knowledge with your friends, family.
Butterflies are primarily nectar feeders and have sponging mouthparts called the proboscis. The proboscis is a long, slender tube-like structure that uncoils to reach into flowers or other liquid food sources, such as overripe fruits, to extract nectar. Once the proboscis is dipped into the nectar, capillary action allows the butterfly to draw up the liquid into its digestive system. Nectar provides butterflies with sugars that serve as the primary source of energy for flying and other activities. In addition to nectar, some butterfly species also engage in mud puddling behavior, where they obtain essential nutrients like salts and minerals from damp soil, decaying matter, or animal droppings. Parasitic feeding. Parasitic feeding is a feeding strategy observed in parasites that obtain their nutrition from living hosts. Parasites can be found in various organisms, including animals, plants, and even other microorganisms. They depend on their hosts for food, shelter, and reproduction. Parasites can have diverse feeding mechanisms, such as biting, sucking, or absorbing nutrients from their host's tissues or body fluids. For example, ticks and fleas are ectoparasites that feed on the blood of their hosts, while internal parasites like tapeworms and liver flukes absorb nutrients from the host's digestive system. Saprophytic feeding. Saprophytic feeding is a feeding strategy observed in organisms known as saprophytes or saprotrophs. These organisms obtain their nutrition by feeding on dead and decaying organic matter. Saprophytic feeding plays a crucial role in the decomposition and recycling of organic material in ecosystems. Fungi, certain bacteria, and some types of insects, like dung beetles, are examples of saprophytes. They secrete enzymes that break down complex organic compounds into simpler forms, which they can absorb and use as nutrients. Feeding in Protozoa. Protozoa are unicellular organisms that exhibit various feeding mechanisms depending on their habitat and available food sources. Some protozoa are phagotrophs, meaning they ingest food particles through phagocytosis. For example, amoebas extend their pseudopods to surround and engulf food particles like bacteria and other small organisms. Other protozoa are osmotrophs and absorb dissolved nutrients directly from their environment. Paramecium, a ciliate protozoan, uses cilia to sweep food particles into its oral groove, where they are ingested and digested. Feeding in Hydra. Hydra is a simple freshwater cnidarian that uses specialized stinging cells called nematocysts to capture prey. Hydra exhibits a unique feeding mechanism known as extracellular digestion. When a small organism, such as a tiny crustacean or insect larva, comes into contact with the tentacles of the hydra, the nematocysts release toxins that immobilize the prey. The tentacles then contract, bringing the prey into the hydra's body cavity. The hydra's cells secrete digestive enzymes into the cavity, breaking down the prey's tissues externally. The digested nutrients are then absorbed into the hydra's cells for nourishment. Feeding in Amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organism that feeds through a process called phagocytosis. It extends its pseudopods, cytoplasmic extensions, around food particles, such as bacteria or tiny algae, and engulfs them to form food vacuoles. Once the food vacuoles are formed, digestive enzymes are released into them, breaking down the ingested particles into simpler molecules. The nutrients are then absorbed into the amoeba's cytoplasm, providing it with essential sustenance. Feeding in Paramecium. Paramecium, a ciliate protozoan, exhibits a feeding mechanism called sweep feeding, or ciliary feeding. It uses numerous tiny hair-like structures called cilia to create water currents around its body. As the cilia beat, they direct food particles, such as bacteria and other small organisms, into the oral groove of the paramecium. The food particles are then drawn into the cell through the oral groove, forming food vacuoles. Within these vacuoles, digestion takes place, and the nutrients are absorbed by the paramecium to support its cellular activities. Feeding mechanisms in animals are a testament to the diversity and adaptability of life on our planet. From modified feeding habits that allow animals to thrive in various habitats to specialized strategies in aquatic and terrestrial creatures, each adaptation reflects the incredible intricacies of evolution. Understanding these feeding mechanisms deepens our appreciation for the delicate balance of nature and the marvels of biodiversity.